Hey guys, my name is Paul Brumbaugh, and it's Sunday, and it's not the edge of insanity. You're not on the edge. I'm actually sitting here in our Valley Studios. Our Valley Studios. Who knew we had them? I did, of course. I'm sitting here with friend and comedian, and sitting across from me is David Stolowitz. Everybody, say hi to David Stolowitz. What's happening, my bud?
Oh, out here getting a breather in the Central Valley. Thought I'd stop by and say hi.
Got getting a breather. Getting a breather.
Yeah.
Awesome. How are you enjoying your time in the Valley?
It's nice and warm and I got a good tan, so I can't complain.
Yeah, you look like you actually got a tan. I definitely didn't. I see you got me on your T-shirt. That's kind of cool.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself. No, actually,
That's me on a good day.
this is a great radio station out of North Watsonville, Freedom, California. It's K-Pig. I don't work for them. I wish I did. Richard Stockton does, and he's a brilliant comedian. I love the sketch comedy they do on there, and I'm happy to support them. So shouts out to K-Pig.
K-Pig.
Yeah.
Right on. We love independent stations. There you go. So what else you got going on? The weather has changed again, so it's nice and warm.
Mm-hmm.
You doing anything fun? You going to the beach? You taking road trips? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm taking road trips these days. My credit line just got extended again, so I have a little bit until I use it all up. I'm not great with money. It's not my strength, but at least I'm trying to consolidate down to one credit card. So I'm really excited that I only have 200 bucks left to pay to Macy's. Yeah.
So it's not your strong point. Is it your downfall? It's definitely not your superpower, I guess is what you're saying, right?
Um, it's like I've had to learn a lot of hard lessons with money. I think a lot of people do. I was provided with some financial education when I was young, but it came with a good dose of hypocrisy, so I ended up ignoring it on principle. Um, the thing is yeah, I have run up quite a good amount of credit. Like I'm not in danger legally or anything, but I don't know. I don't concern myself with it that much. Like I live really simply, maybe too simply, and I my biggest problem is I'll spend a lot of money on little things, so I don't make giant purchases. But my dad told me once, you'll spend like 20 bucks 20 different times, and that's 400 bucks.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not really great with money. Even my budgeting, I seem to it kind of I've always lived month to month.
Yeah.
And I run a business now, and so that's not good when you're going month to month
No,
and you have a business.
God.
Um, so my budgeting skills are lacking. That's why my partner, my wife, is really good with money,
Uh-huh.
and so I have no problem if I was the one that was if I was bringing home an actual paycheck and handing it, I would have no problem handing it to her because they'd be like, oh, I might have something at the end of the week. So
Yeah.
um, okay, so what have you been doing creatively? I know that you're a trivia host.
Yes.
Um, how does that? I know you're also a stand-up comic. How does that segue or work? Or how does that work well for a comedian to be a trivia host, or vice versa?
Oh, well, it's cross application with the skills. So I get to practice comedy with an audience a little bit, and I can fold it in gently. But, whether a joke hits or not, oh well, I can just go back to my main job, which is hosting a show. I've been told I'm a good host, and I really enjoy it. I've hosted all kinds of entertainment over the years. So with trivia, I get to be a comedian. I can, feed in the lines that I know that work, and it gives me a little extra practice. It buys me a little bit of open mic time, but also I find I do a lot of improv when I'm doing trivia. I'll have a little bit to drink, and I'll get up to it with my friends, and because we've got rapport and a certain amount of trust, I just start coming up with stuff off the cuff, and sometimes it's really funny when I'm not thinking it too much.
So comedy comes out in your life no matter where you're at, and that just gives you another place to express yourself, and funny shit comes out of your mouth.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, improv is a big part of my comedy, and I love finding inspiration anywhere and everywhere I am. It feels like a video game, and it's just like you collect, little pieces of this and that, and then you can present it to people as something you found. It's like grown up show and tell.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and so it kind of both jobs kind of lend to each other.
Oh, definitely. And my boss, Mitch Campbell, he knew that when he hired us. So he actively sought out a few different comedians that he wanted to work with.
Because he knows that's kind of one of the skill sets he's looking for in his model.
Yeah, and it worked well for him. He got a lot of practice in that way.
Right.
So,
well, as a comedian, aren't we always looking just for a little bit more stage time and time to develop material? And
yeah, and it really is a commodity that isn't easy to get. I mean, you can create your own stage time, but then you have to dedicate so much time and effort just to making that available. And if you want to share it, or you're going to do a one-man show or whatever. So either way, you got to work.
yeah, either way, you got to work, and you got to work it out. You got to get it out of your head or off the paper or whatever it is for you, right?
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, I stick notes in my phone, and I have a joke books I go back and forth to. I've been trying.
So
to
you
refine
write,
things.
you talk. Do you talk into your phone, or you just type into your phone?
I sometimes I'll talk to my friends into the phone. I'll leave them audio clips, but no, usually I've gotten really good at typing text. I can even use my thumbs now on the phone. Duolingo taught me how to do that, so I can type in a whole sentence and get the spelling pretty good.
Well, it's funny because for me, I know that you'll find every form of note you can find from me. You'll find it on a bar napkin or a little piece of paper. You'll find it typed into my phone or text to myself.
Yeah.
Or message to my wife. So I'll go, hey, this isn't for you, it's for me later.
Yeah.
I'll dictate into my phone. I noticed that it was like 6 months ago. I noticed that I'd been, going, asking Suri, hey, make a note for me. And I figured it was just going into where I normally type in notes, where I normally type in, if I'm stopped and not driving down the street, or if I'm not in the shower or whatever.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm typing into my phone, I type into the notes section on my iPhone. And I figured when I was telling Suri to make a note for me and put it in there, it was putting it in there, but it's not.
It's in a different location.
I don't know where it is, because all of a sudden I start looking for, I remember, because there's multiple times where I'll think of something and I won't be anywhere handy. I won't have my phone, won't have a piece of paper, and I'll go, oh, that's so funny. I have to remember that. So when I get near something, I'll write it. It never happens. So like a week later, the same thing will come up and I'll go, oh, that's right. I got to write that down this time. Still not near a phone, still not near. And so there's multiple times where I'm like, oh, I know I have that. So I know I've told my phone jokes. I think it's either eaten it like the one sock in the dryer, or it's stolen it like an open micer.
Or it's up in the cloud. It's been
It's in the cloud somewhere. Yeah, it's going to make me pay some way.
Yeah, I hate that when you're driving and you think of something funny and you're like, I can't get to my phone right now.
Right. Right.
I try talking to Siri, but she never recognizes my voice. I'll say, like, can you give me directions to Chicago? And she's like, getting directions to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
Well, and I have a bit, and it's going to sound like a bit because I haven't done it in so long, but it was like my dad was asking me about something, and I said, well, just ask Suri. He goes, who's Suri? I go, it's the little lady in your phone.
You say Surrey like the county in England.
I'm sorry. But yeah, like I said, just ask the, Suri. He goes, who's that? The little lady in your phone. He goes, I don't need another woman telling me what to do. I already have your mother.
Oh.
And then I said, well, then go on Safari, because he has an iPhone. I go on Safari, and he goes, I'm not going to hunt elephants, son.
Okay.
I go, no, that's not it. I go, that's the web browser. And he goes, web browser? And I'm like, oh my gosh, just stick to using a phone like a phone. Just never mind. I get it. And so he just realized what text messages are. He didn't realize that what a text message was until just recently. And he goes, well, what's this? And I go, yeah, I've messaged you multiple times that way. I noticed how you never reply, but I figured you were at least reading them.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, it's that learning curve.
Definitely.
All right. So how else have you been expressing yourself? If it's not through hosting trivia and doing comedy, is there any other thing that keeps you off the rooftop without a sniper's rifle?
A lot of gardening, actually.
Gardening. That's so therapeutic, right?
Yeah, it really is. My mom taught me how to do it, and then my client and friend Sherry Rudman, she's been teaching me a lot more too. So that's wonderful to have something to produce, and getting into the earth, getting outside. Yeah, it really clears your mind. It's great. I highly recommend it.
Well, I don't have enough gardening here because we have a concrete garden.
Hmm.
Everything is concrete. We only have a little patch of dirt, and it's got foxtails.
Yeah.
It has a couple trees in it and some foxtails.
And
And so we
out
got
here
rid of the
we're in
foxtails.
Lathrop, and it's quite a bit more warm with the climate. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's not as nice as my other home, my home away from home. And so when I live in the Bay Area, I live in a place I live in Redwood City, I stay in Redwood City, and so it's climate's best by government test. It's like the best government, or it's like the best weather rated by the government, the U.S. government,
The U.S. government.
the USGS.
The USGS. And when was that?
Oh, I don't know. I think they named us that probably like 20 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. It is a pretty nice climate.
Well, if you go now, like right now, so let's check. This segment we like to call "Let's Ask Google." Hey Google, what's the temperature in Lathrop, California?
The temperature in Lathrop right now is 69 degrees.
Okay, so it's not bad, right? So, hey Google, what's the temperature in Redwood City, California?
In Redwood City right now, it's 59 degrees.
So it's 10 degrees cooler, and that can range up to 20 and up to 25-ish.
Yeah.
I've seen it jump that much. So there's only a 10 degrees, but it's nice outside.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's do this. Let's get you to do any shameless plugs. Do you have anything to shout out or anything to promote? Do you have a website? Any up and coming things? Like, tell us about your gigs. What days we can catch you? Where we can catch you?
Well, man, you caught me at a bad time, Paul, because I don't have any at the moment.
But you have your Monday gig in San Mateo.
Yeah, I'm doing Sandcastle Entertainment. I have our trivia show. We're at the Refuge San Mateo every other week.
Okay.
It's at 6 p.m. This Monday, if you want to join us. The Refuge is famous for their homemade pastrami sandwiches, and they import excellent beer from Belgium and the rest of Europe. So the food is legendary. I'm so lucky that I get a dinner as part of my contract.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for that. That's been wonderful. So I alternate. I also go to their location in San Carlos on Tuesdays of the other week. So I'll be there next week. And then I'm at the Surf Lounge in Pacifica on Bill Drake Way every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And that's a bit of a rough crowd, but if you're up for an adventure, it can be real special.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Cool. So thanks for hanging in there. It's another Sunday down here. Now I get to make that drive to the Bay and do what I do best, which is go into edgestudiosonline.com and produce 4 shows over the next couple days. Tomorrow, Monday, we have Junkyard Rat, followed by What's Really Happening. And on Tuesday, we have Zig in the Zone and Afternoons with Joe Mama. So check out everything that Edge Studios Online does at edgestudiosonline.com or wherever you can catch podcasts being heard or seen. Edge Studios Online on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Yeah, there you go. Again, thank you for joining us, David. Enjoy your time and your break. You deserve every minute of it, sir.
Thank you.
All right. And we're out of here, guys. Until next time, keep standing up.